Hi, so to give everybody a rough size of the smoker here, this is the packaging it comes with. So the package is 17 inches by 17 inches, and then it's 10 inches tall. So you can imagine how the pieces would come together if the package itself is 17 by 17 and 10 inches tall. So let me open this up and show you the pieces. So, just opening this up. And let me zoom in here. So, actually, you know what? This was actually thicker than I thought. So let me pull this out. I was expecting the steel to be a lot thinner, but it's actually pretty decent. So let me go ahead, pull this out. So this appears to be the cover. So what I got here. And I'm gonna zoom in here. Let's give you a look. So this is what I had expected it to be a little bit. And in fact, I was expecting it to be a lot cheaper looking. I know this thing's only gonna last, you know, about 2 or 3 years at most. So I had my expectations basically set pretty low. And here's the items. So I'll go zooming in these a little later on. And now here's the doors. So just to give you a sense of its thickness. I mean it's like, I want to say it's like license plate thickness. You know, so if you have your license plate that's on your car, that's probably how thick it is. You know, probably slightly thinner than that by a smidge. But you can see how it's not perfect. Like these are kind of not curved and it's a little bit bent. But I would say it's kind of decent enough. Now the handles are, feels like plastic, but then it feels like some other material too. And here's the myriad of screws and bolts. And I'll have this link in the description area of where I bought it. So I bought this for about 55 bucks, even though it lists for on average 80 bucks and even up to 100 bucks. Once again, I guess this is plastic, but it almost feels like it's, I don't want to say glass, it's not glass, but I guess it's just plastic. It's just sturdier plastic than I thought. I thought it was going to be like toy plastic, but it seems like it's a little bit better than that. And putting all this aside. So this is the pan. Yes. So there's 2 pans here. And these are rounded edges. So I was afraid these wouldn't be rounded. Of course, down here, you know, it's bent, but you know, this won't necessarily cut you when you're assembling it. So that's good. So this is just normal thickness pan. You know, it's not extra steel gauge, but you know, it's pretty decent. So that was one of the pans at the bottom. And then here's another one. And the cover itself. So once again, the cover. So I'm just trying to give you an idea of the quality of the steel itself and the thickness. Now you can see the enamel. The enamel will burn off, so there's no question about that. The overall, I want to say the overall diameter of this will be about 17 inches. And here's where it does get a little bit sharp. Like this, I could see you might cut yourself. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not rounded. You know, so, but I guess if you have the handle up there, it should be fine. You know, try not to touch this too much. And now for the exterior stuff. So this looks like so this is 10 inches tall. So just keep that in mind, it's 10 inches tall. And it's pretty light. So it seems like it is about 11 to 12 pounds, as it mentioned. So I'm gonna try to get this out now. All right, take the styrofoam aside. And here's all those other pieces. Just want to give you like a bird's eye view here. So there should be one tube and another tube, which there is. Okay. Let me just get this out first. So the sizes are definitely look bigger than they actually seem in the package once you get it out. So let me just go around here. So there's those two tubes, and then there's those two, the lid and the two pans, and then all the assembly equipment. And you know, you can feel this here. I mean, it's okay. I mean, here's where it's sort of thin, and as I mentioned, it's kind of like license plate thickness. At least this edge here is rounded, and this edge on the other side is rounded, but the edge on the top is not. So the edge here, I mean, I haven't cut myself yet, so that's a good that's a good sign. Yeah, you can see the bottom here. This is rounded. This is not rounded. So the good thing is this is rounded. So this here is rounded, a rounded edge. And so this looks like it's the middle. So this other side is also rounded. So this particular tube has both edges that are rounded, which is you know, good. And you could see there's notches here. And then there's this thing here that kind of locks in place, so this sticks out, like 3 of them. So, you know, the way they look like they would work is this inner diameter, which is slightly less thin, will kind of go up on top here. I guess it would be this way. So they seat up on top. And it's a good 20 inches. So you can see, like if I stack it one on top of the other, it's big. I mean, it's 20 inches, like so. And I do plan on fitting this in my car. So in some ways, it's actually the perfect size, because you can see here, you know, 10 inches on top of 10 inches, and then the lid itself here. And when you're shipping it, not shipping it, but when you're storing it, you know, you could have the lid, you know, flipped on the other side. But when the lid is, you know, right on top there, looks like it fits pretty decently. So that's good. Alright, so I'm going to assemble it, and I'm going to just show you the end result. So let me just do a quick run through of the parts here, all in one. So you get 3 of these legs, and these legs are pretty flimsy. So as I mentioned, this is something that will probably last for at most 2 years, maybe 3 years. And here's the 3 legs, and then there's the 3 handles here. then here's the thing for the grill. And of course, these are all going to be put in simply, here's the temperature gauge, simply based on the, what do you call it, the screws themselves. So here's the packet of screws. And there's basically two sizes. And it's going to be for, you know, these things. So these screws are going to easily loosen. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to actually try to have, probably buy extra nuts and then double nut it. And then here's these screws on this side. And here's the stuff where, you know, you would rest these things on. So, as I expected, it's going to be very basic, and I have everything here. And here's these smaller screws. And then the two lids here. And two pans. So these are two equally sized pans. As well as the lid. And then the two parts here. One thing I did want to mention about the parts is, you'll see there's the 3 notches here. And then also, on the equivalent side, there's 3 notches to rest the second stage. Now these don't necessarily fit perfectly or smoothly. So if I'm putting it in, you can see that sticks out a little bit. So I have to push it in slightly. Or I have to choose a side. So this is now snug. But when I turn it, it's not going to be smooth. So just to go around and show you like kind of the joints here. So basically I have to turn it to hook this in, and that actually doesn't go in as smoothly as you would like. It needs some force. So that's going to be a little bit sloppier when, right, this is filled with soot. You know, so if this is filled with soot and everything, you know, and you're trying to, you know, force it through, like you're going to have to squeeze, some portions to turn it. You know, it's not like it goes in smooth. Like it's not manufactured, you know, all that perfectly. But, you know, I think for the most part, you know, I got this for basically $50. So it's not bad for $50 and, you know, 2 years of use. So, even though, once again, it lists at $80, but, you know, with coupons or if you wait the right moment, you'll get this at this particular price, $50. I guess I'll zoom into this piece a little bit. You know, the door, you see it's not perfect. You know, the hinges are cheap. But it's what you would expect for $50, you know. Can't expect a $200 product, a $300 product for $50. Though I am a little bit more impressed with these pans, you know, being, you know, looks like it's fairly decent and strong. Alright, let me assemble this now and show you the end result.